All right, let's talk about one of the most annoying, time-consuming problems for any business owner, scheduling appointments. What if I told you there's a software deal out there that promises to solve it for just $39, a one-time payment? That's it. Oh man, if this quote hits home for you, you know the pain. It's that ridiculous back-and-forth email chain, that constant dance just to nail down a single meeting time. It's a total productivity killer, right? So that brings us to the big question, doesn't it? I mean, sure, there are tools out there, but they all want a piece of your wallet every single month. Is there a way to get a real professional-grade solution and just pay for it once? Well, let's find out.
Okay, so let's dive into what the source material calls the scheduling nightmare. And honestly, it's the perfect name for it, because this nightmare really has two very painful parts.
And here they are. First, you've got just wasted time. The inefficiency of doing it all by hand is just staggering. That's time you could be, actually working. And then, problem two is wasted money. You turn to the so-called solution, a tool like Acuity Scheduling, and it just bleeds you dry with monthly fees. It really is that classic rock in a hard place situation.
Okay, so now that we've really laid out the problem, let's talk about the potential solution on the table here. And that's a lifetime deal for a tool called Lapsula. So what is Lapsula? Well, simply put, it does what the big names do. It automates your bookings, it syncs with your calendar, all that good stuff. The huge difference, though, is its entire business model. It's built from the ground up to be a direct shot at those monthly subscriptions. And here it is, the number that makes everyone do a double take, $39. And just to be clear, that is not per month, it's not even per year. It's one single payment for life. You gotta ask yourself, right? Is this thing too good to be true? So for that tiny price tag, what do you actually get? Are you getting shortchanged on features? Well, no, not at all actually. We're talking unlimited booking types, one-on-one, groups, you name it. It syncs with your Google or Outlook calendar to avoid those double booking disasters. And it has the payment integrations you absolutely need, like Stripe and PayPal. So no, this isn't some bare-bones, stripped-down version. It's the whole shebang.
Okay, but a cheap price means absolutely nothing if the tool is flaky, right? If you can't rely on it for your actual business, it's worthless. So let's see how it actually performed under a real hands-on test.
And look, this wasn't some simple, let's schedule a 15-minute coffee chat kind of test. No, this was designed to mimic a real-world, high-value, paid client session, a 90-minute strategy deep dive. They threw some really specific, kind of complex rules at it just to see if the system would break. And here's what they did. First, they set up buffer time, 20 minutes before, 15 minutes after, to stop you from getting those draining back-to-back meetings. Second, they put a hard limit on it, only one of these long sessions per day. And third, they required full payment up front through Stripe. I mean, these are the exact controls a real consultant or a coach would actually use.
So what was the result? It worked perfectly. Lapsula blocked off the meeting, plus the full 35 minutes of buffer time. It enforced that daily limit, no problem. And it processed the payment. The big takeaway here is that the core engine, the part that really matters, is totally solid. It's reliable.
All right, so we know it works, it's reliable. Now we can get to the really juicy part of this whole thing, the direct cost showdown against the big market leader.
Just look at this. This really puts it into perspective. Over just 3 years, you're looking at $39 for Lapsula versus almost $600 for Acuity's most basic plan. That difference is just staggering. We're not talking about saving a few bucks here and there. This is massive.
Let me put it another way. You save $153 in the very first year. That means this $39 deal pays for itself, like 4 times over in the first 12 months alone. It's kind of crazy when you think about it. Okay, so this table gives us a bit more of a balanced picture. Look, Lapsula wins hands down on cost and simplicity. No contest. But Acuity is built to scale up for really big enterprise-level teams. So it really is about picking the right tool for the job you're trying to do. All right, let's wrap this up and get to the final verdict. After everything we've looked at, is this lifetime deal the right fit for you?
And the conclusion here is really crystal clear. If you're a freelancer, a solo consultant, a coach, or maybe you run a small team, this deal has your name written all over it. It's for anyone who needs powerful, solid features, but doesn't need all that enterprise-level bloat.
Now look, every tool has its trade-offs, right? It's important to be honest about that. The pros are pretty obvious. The value is just unbeatable and the interface is clean and super simple to use.
On the flip side, the analytics are still pretty basic, and it doesn't have those super complex routing features for big teams. And yeah, it is a newer product, so that's something to keep in the back of your mind.
But really, this is the sentence that says it all. For that target audience, that solopreneur, that small business owner, you're getting like 90% of the features you actually need and use with 0% of the recurring cost. That's the core value right there.
And that all leads to this very definitive conclusion from the review. This isn't a maybe or a you should consider it. No, for the right person, this is a must-buy. Why? Because it solves a fundamental business problem, it does it well, and it does it for a price that's almost impossible to beat.
So let's end with this one question for you. Just think about the time and the money you sink into scheduling every single month. Could a one-time payment of $39 not just solve that headache, but get rid of it forever? Based on everything we've just gone over, the answer for a whole lot of you out there might just be a very loud yes.